If by the end of this page you don't question the direction of your life, let it go. Because this isn't about giving you new knowledge. It's about revealing an old mistake, a mistake that might have secretly guided your every step. Think for a moment. How long have you been chasing something? Money, love, peace, meaning. You thought all of it meant moving forward, but without knowing, you've been swimming against the universe, rowing against the current because they told you effort is virtue. But that effort only left you exhausted. Thoth once said, "The seeker of truth moves further from it." And Lao Tzu whispered, "When you let go, it happens." Now close your eyes. If there's a voice inside saying, "Keep going," that's the call from the reverse side, because the time has come not to learn, but to unlearn. The first lesson the universe gives is this: the more you chase, the more it runs away. Imagine a fish trapped in a net, struggling to break free, but every movement only tightens the threads. That's how humans live, tangled in their own desires. You wanted freedom, yet every pursuit of freedom chained you tighter, because unknowingly you pushed away the very thing you desired. Like a stone dropped into still water, the faster it sinks, the farther the ripples push away its center. That's the core mistake. You mistook your desire for direction, but desire only distorts the compass. Since childhood, you were told to succeed you must try harder, but no one asked, what if the thing you seek is already waiting for you? Nothing in nature forces itself. A bamboo shoot doesn't rush to grow. The wind doesn't plan its path, but humans always plan, always push, because they forgot how to trust. Chasing is just fear in disguise. Every "what if it doesn't happen" hides beneath it, and when you want something too much, your body tightens, your heart strains. That's the moment you fall out of flow. That's why the wise ones say, emptiness comes before fullness. But you fear the empty space because they taught you emptiness means failure. Yet emptiness is the womb of creation, the silent cradle where all beginnings are born. Once there was the bravest fish in the sea. Her name was Luma. She dreamed of reaching the light shimmering above the ocean. But every time she swam upward, the current pushed her back. She fought harder. "I'll reach it by my own strength," she said. Days passed, weeks. Her body turned to stone. And still, the water pulled her down, until one day she surrendered. She stopped fighting, and in that stillness, she realized the water had always been carrying her, not against her, but with her. Luma stopped swimming and began to flow. That's when she finally reached the surface, effortlessly. That's your secret too. The universe never resists you. You're just swimming the wrong way. Science explains it through the dopamine loop. When you want something, dopamine rises. Not when you get it, when you chase it. That's why your mind keeps running toward the next goal. You don't crave fulfillment, you crave pursuit. Once useful for survival, this loop now enslaves you. Social media, ads, success culture all feed it. You think you're progressing, but you're just running in a hamster wheel. The law of reverse flow begins here. Stop chasing dopamine. Seek serotonin, because dopamine is born from doing. Serotonin is born from being. That's why Lao Tzu said, "The slower you move, the faster you arrive." And Thoth's emerald tablet whispers, "There is motion in stillness, and stillness in motion." One evening, you looked into the mirror and heard a voice. "Just a little more. One more step, then I'll find peace." But you didn't notice you've been saying that same line for years. Always later. Always after. Peace is always postponed because you keep placing it ahead of you. But Lao Tzu said, "The master lives without goals because she already stands at the center." That's your mistake. You left the center. You searched for peace outside and with every search stepped further from your own core. What happens if you stop chasing completely? Your mind panics. Nothing will happen. But your heart whispers, everything will. Because when resistance melts, life flows again like water, moving gently beneath a frozen lake. Underneath the hard surface, movement never stopped. Your only task is to soften, to release, to surrender. And when you do, the current will carry you. Today, just 5 minutes. Don't fix anything, don't scroll, don't plan. Just sit and notice. The impatience, the discomfort, the restlessness, that's your resistance. And resistance is the only thing blocking your flow. At the end of those 5 minutes, say one simple sentence. I begin from the reverse. Let that be your new direction. Pause. Breathe. Stop trying to win. Because the universe doesn't need your effort, only your awareness. And maybe, just maybe, the deepest progress lies in not moving at all. Maybe today you feel like you're not moving forward, as if life itself is pushing you back. Plans fall apart. People drift away. Your energy fades. But let me tell you a secret. This pulling back is not punishment, it's preparation. An arrow must always be drawn backward before it can fly forward. The more it's pulled back, the farther it travels. But you mistake that backward moment for loss. One of the oldest laws of the universe says, every forward motion creates an equal pull backward. Your stillness, your loneliness, your setbacks, they were all the bow, drawing you back, but you became impatient. You let go too soon, and the arrow fell short of its target. To pull back is not to lose, it's the posture of mastery, because only one who looks back can truly aim ahead. Lao Tzu said, then if you do not bend, you will break. If you do not step back, you cannot see the path. You kept running forward, afraid of losing time, but maybe the only way to gain time is to stop. Even the heart of the universe beats by pulling inward, it contracts, then releases. Life itself retreats in order to move forward. So why not allow yourself the same? Once there was an old archer in the mountains. They called him the silent marksman, because he never looked at the target, he only listened to the bow. One day a young warrior asked, Master, how do you hit the target with your eyes closed? The old man smiled. The target is not outside of me, he said. When I draw the bow, I draw myself inward. And when I reach my center, the arrow flies on its own. For weeks the young warrior practiced. He pulled and released again and again, but missed every time. Frustrated, he threw the bow to the ground. The master picked it up gently and said, You didn't break the bow, you broke time. When you rush time, the bow snaps. And in that moment, the young warrior understood. You cannot go forward without first being pulled back. Modern neurophysiology explains it this way. Every kind of progress requires a tension-release cycle. Your muscles, your neurons, your dopamine circuits all depend on it. Pulling back, resting. Slowing down, turning inward activates the parasympathetic system. It heals your body, balances your nerves, restores harmony. So those moments when it looks like you're doing nothing, that's when your brain rewires itself. That's not laziness. That's biology. But the modern mind lives only in the sympathetic mode, always on, always alert, always running. And when you live in constant tension, your muscles can't relax, your breath can't deepen, your mind can't quiet. Then you say, I'm stuck. But the truth is, you've just forgotten how to pull back. Let me tell you a story. One stormy day, the old archer stood on the mountain again. The apprentice said, In this wind, the arrow will never reach the target. The master laughed softly. The wind doesn't test the arrow. It tests your patience. He drew his bow and waited. Minutes passed. His hands trembled. Then he whispered, Now. He released. The wind shifted. The arrow struck the heart of the target. The apprentice gasped. How did you do that? The master said, Nature isn't my enemy. It's my partner. I listened to the wind and aimed with it. Humans must live the same way. Not by resisting, but by aligning. Now think, when life pulls you back, what do? Do you resist, or do you listen to the bow? Maybe your current stillness is your drawing phase. Maybe your silence is not a storm, but preparation. And maybe your arrow hasn't been released yet. What you call a pause, the universe calls aiming. Neuroplasticity research shows the same pattern. Every new skill, thought, or habit is learned through cycles of tension and release. That's why meditation, music, training, learning all follow the same rhythm. Pull back, release, align. Your true productivity, patience, and creativity are born in the empty space. When your mind becomes quiet, your nervous system resets. New connections form in silence. As Thoth said, form born of pressure dissolves in formlessness, and formlessness speaks the language of the divine. So pulling back is the silent conversation with God. Today, just once when something angers you, don't react. When something delays, don't rush. When someone misunderstands you, don't explain. Pause. Take a deep breath, as if drawing a bow. Then release, and say this sentence aloud. I move forward by pulling back. Stop. Listen to your breath. Do not fear retreat, because the universe breathes just like you. It contracts, then expands. It pulls in, then unfolds, and you are the heartbeat of that rhythm. Today, set no goals. Just feel the bow and let go. If these words reached you, write one sentence in the comments. I move forward by pulling back. You live in an impatient age. You want everything to happen now. Healing, love, success, instantly. But no root in the universe grows that fast. When you plant a bamboo seed, nothing seems to happen for years. The soil stays quiet, the surface empty. Yet in that silence, a miracle is taking place. For 5 long years, bamboo grows only underground, sending roots deeper and deeper before it ever dares to rise. And then, in the 6th year, it suddenly shoots up, meters high. If humans understood bamboo's patience, they would never feel ashamed of their delays. You too have an unseen preparation taking place beneath your life. But you keep digging at your own soil, asking, why haven't I grown yet? And every time you dig, you tear your own roots. The universe rewards the unseen work, not what's visible, but what's prepared. An archer draws his bow 1,000 times before he releases once. A musician misses 1,000 notes before a perfect performance, and a soul must fall 1,000 times before it awakens. But our age worships the result. Those who live like bamboo master silence. Lao Tzu said, "The wise do not celebrate fruit before they have seen the roots." Your inner roots may be deepening right now, but your mind keeps looking at the surface. When it sees nothing, it panics. That panic has a name, impatience. And impatience dries the soil of the soul. Long ago, a farmer planted bamboo. Every morning he watered the ground, fed it, prayed for it. 1 year passed, nothing. 2, 3, 4 years, still nothing. His neighbors laughed. "You're feeding empty soil," they said, but the farmer smiled. The earth hides its miracles well. At the end of the 5th year, his hope nearly broke. Just as he was about to quit, a small green tip pierced the ground. In 1 week, 10 centimeters. In 1 month, a full meter. In a year, 25 meters tall, the farmer cried. Because bamboo hadn't grown in 1 day. It had grown through all those invisible years. Neuroscience tells the same truth. When your brain learns something new, the change is invisible at first. New synapses strengthen silently, sometimes for months. This is called the latent phase, the hidden growth stage. Most people give up right there, just as the system is rebuilding itself. Like bamboo, your nervous system plants invisible roots. New thought patterns take form quietly. That's why patience is not just a virtue, it's neurological growth. Patience means your brain is taking root. A student once said to his master, "Master, I've studied for years, but I'm still not enlightened. When will I see results?" The master held up a seed. "This bamboo," he said, "grows as long as you let it. The more time, the deeper the roots." The student asked, "Then what should I do?" The master smiled. "Love the soil. That's all." Years passed. The student sometimes wept, sometimes grew bored, but he kept watering the soil. Then 1 year, his master died. That same year, the bamboo sprouted. And the student understood. Some things bloom only for those who stay faithful through waiting. Now think, how many things in your life are still not yet? And how many did you abandon too early, digging them up to check if they were growing? Maybe you're inside invisible growth right now. In your body, your mind, your relationships. Maybe nothing seems to move, and yet everything is unfolding. Remember, bamboo is strongest while still underground, because to rise without roots is only another way to fall. Your brain reads impatience as a threat. When results delay, the amygdala sounds the alarm. Cortisol rises, stress floods your body. But your prefrontal cortex, your wisdom center, and that whispers, "Wait!" Waiting is a trained neural discipline. That's why patience isn't just a trait. It's a nervous system skill. You build it with breath, awareness, repetition. As Lao Tzu said, "Nature never hurries, yet everything is accomplished. Patience means aligning yourself with the speed of the universe, and the speed of the universe is silence. Today, open a notebook. Name it the Root Journal. Write down 3 things that are growing unseen. Maybe an idea, a habit, a healing. And under each one, write this sentence. It's not visible yet, but it's taking root. Then close your eyes and imagine a bamboo forest. Each root is a vein of patience inside you, and one day all of them will rise together. Stop. Feel the soil beneath you, as if roots are spreading from your heart. Don't rush any of them, because your unseen preparation is writing your visible future. Today, notice only your inner roots, and if these words echo inside you, write one line in the comments. I am beneath the soil, taking root. Take a breath, but not yet. First, let go. Empty the air completely from your lungs. Yes, all of it, until you feel the hollow space inside your chest. Breathe in. Deep, quiet, full. Do you feel it? Fullness only comes when emptiness allows it. Every cycle in the universe whispers the same truth. You cannot fill until you release. Just as night prepares the dawn. Just as rain washes the soil and awakens the seed. Just as you are reborn each time you accept your own exhaustion. But the modern human has forgotten how to breathe, always trying to fill. The schedule, the mind, the heart. Yet the secret of breath lies not in filling, but in releasing. Breath is the invisible teacher of the universe. Every breath reminds you of birth and death. To inhale is to be born. To exhale is to die. But both belong to the same dance. In the tablets of Thoth it is written, the rhythm of the universe is like the breath, expansion and contraction, birth and death, being and non-being. When you forget this rhythm, imbalance appears. Anxiety, tension, unrest, because your body falls out of harmony with the cosmos. That's why the 4th step of the law of reverse flow says, pause, empty, surrender. Emptiness is not loss. It is the womb of rebirth. Imagine the sea. Waves rise and fall. Each one touches the shore, then retreats. If the wave refused to pull back, no new wave could come. The sea would swell, overflow, and drown itself. Humans are the same. When you hold on, when you never release, your emotions swell and overflow until they drown you. So nature teaches the simplest law. Breath is flow, and flow exists only when release is allowed. Your body lives by the same rule as the universe. Balance. Biology calls it homeostasis. Homeostasis is constant correction, like the breath itself. Temperature, heartbeat, hormones, emotions, thoughts. All rise, settle, rise again. When you interrupt this rhythm, the system breaks, just like when you hold your breath. When you hold your breath, carbon dioxide builds up. The brain sends danger signals. The heart races, the muscles tighten. Holding the breath is not just physical panic, it's spiritual panic. And most modern people live like this, holding their breath without knowing it, with expectations, suppression, the hunger for more, all creating an inner hyperventilation. The path back to balance begins with conscious release. A student once asked his master, "Master, when will I find peace?" The master smiled, "Show me your breath." The student was confused. "My breath?" The master nodded. "Yes, because the way you breathe is the way you live." The student watched his breath, short, tight, restless. The master whispered, "You always want to take, but you never give. That's why your soul is suffocating." Then he handed the student a small stone. With every breath out, give away 1 stone. With every exhale, release 1 burden. When no stones remain, that will be peace. Now, stop, truly stop. Feel your breath, inhale and exhale. But this time, not to take or to give, just to be. This breath is a sacred contract between you and the universe. With every exhale, you surrender. With every inhale, you are reborn. And one day you'll realize you are not breathing. The breath is breathing you. Breath is the steering wheel of the nervous system. When you exhale, the parasympathetic system awakens. Each breath out tells your body, you are safe. That's why long, slow exhales bring calm. Breathing in awakens. Breathing out releases, just like life itself. Every beginning ends with a letting go, and in each letting go, new energy is born. That's why even in modern therapy, breath awareness heals trauma, because trauma is like a held breath, a moment that could never be released. To exhale is to release not just air but the past. Today, take just 3 minutes. Sit somewhere comfortable. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 2. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 6. Repeat 10 times. With every exhale, whisper softly, "I empty to become full." Then notice, your body softens, your heart expands, your mind quiets. This is the heart of the law of reverse flow. Pause. Breathe in, breathe out. Between them lies a tiny gap, the still point between life and death, and that is where you are, doing nothing, becoming everything. Today, just notice your breath. Don't try to fix it. And if these words touch something within you, write in the comments, "I empty to become full." Place your hand over your heart. You feel a rhythm, don't you? But that rhythm doesn't exist only through beating. It exists because of the pause between beats. Without that pause, the heart would stop. Your heart is the most honest teacher the universe gave you. Even it cannot beat without first pulling back. It contracts, then releases. It gives, then receives. It moves toward death, then returns to life. Ancient wisdom called this cycle yin and yang, because everything is born from its opposite. Day leans on night, sound rests on silence, strength depends on surrender. But humanity has forgotten this dance. We want to live only in one side, always yang, always active, always strong, always rising. But the universe doesn't hold only the upward, it demands balance. Without darkness, there can be no light. Yin and yang are not a war. They are a dance. One shapes. One defines, one completes the other. The Tao says, without yin, yang has no direction. Without yang, yin has no voice. One is movement, the other is rest. One is the sun, the other the moon. One is breath, the other the pause. The imbalance within you is born from suppressing one side. If you can work but not rest, give but not receive, speak but not listen, then you're moving against the heartbeat of the cosmos. Long ago, a monk wanted to hear the pulse of the universe. He meditated for years until one day he finally heard it. But what he heard was silence. He asked his master, "Is the pulse of the universe silence?" The master smiled. "Yes, because silence is the mother of sound. Every sound is born from silence, just as every action is born from stillness. The heart is the same. It doesn't just beat, it rests between beats. And that resting moment is life itself. The rhythm of your heart follows the same principle as the rhythm of the universe. Balance in motion, science calls it heart rate variability, HRV. It's the tiny space between heartbeats. The more harmonious those spaces are, the calmer the body becomes. High HRV means the nervous system is flexible. It absorbs stress, then releases it. The heart doesn't only pump blood, it pumps wisdom. That's why they say, the heart doesn't think, but it knows. You don't find balance when you silence your heart, but when you listen to it. An ancient tale says, in the first moment of creation, two forces were born, light, yang, and darkness, yin. Light said, "I exist because I shine." Darkness replied, "I exist because I make you visible." For centuries they chased each other. They looked like enemies. But they were dancing all along. One day, light disappeared, leaving darkness alone. And that day, darkness also ceased to exist, because contrast loses meaning when it stands alone. That's why every light has a shadow, and every shadow is proof that light exists. The yin and yang within you are dancing too. One pushes you forward, the other pulls you inward. When you stay loyal to only one, your heart loses rhythm. Balance lives in the center, not in constant motion, not in complete stillness, not in endless love, not in eternal solitude. All coexist within a single heartbeat. Now place your hand on your heart. Feel the contraction and the release. That is the universe's reverse heartbeat. Die a little. Be born again every second. Neuroscience says the brain, too, oscillates between opposites. The sympathetic system, yang, activates you. The parasympathetic system, yin, relaxes you. When there's no oscillation, stress appears. Modern humans live mostly in the sympathetic state, always alert, always producing, always wanting more. That's why the heart tires before the mind. But through awareness, breath, and meditation, you can return to yin. Wisdom is simply remembering the balance. As Thoth wrote, poles are not enemies. They are two ends of the same matter. When you unite them, the middle path is born. Today, take 2 minutes. Sit down, close your eyes. As you inhale, whisper, yang. As you exhale, whisper, yin. Inhaling, movement. Exhaling, surrender. After a few rounds, you'll notice they blend. You give as you take, and take as you give. And in that moment, you are balanced. Then say quietly within, my heart beats with the rhythm of the universe. Pause. Keep your hand on your heart. Thank it, because it teaches you every second you cannot expand without contraction. You cannot receive without giving. You cannot shine without embracing the dark. And your heart whispers the timeless secret. Balance is not contradiction. It is the pulse of the universe. Today, simply accept opposites. Whatever appears, recognize its counterpart. And if these words touched your heart, write in the comments, I am within the heartbeat of the universe. Many people say they want to let go, but few truly know how, because letting go feels like losing. Yet they don't. Realize, the universe always fills what is empty. An overflowing cup cannot hold new water. A clenched fist cannot receive a gift. A heart filled with resistance cannot feel peace. All the secrets of life rest behind 3 doors. Giving, returning what you have back into the flow. Releasing, surrendering the weight, not the direction. Surrendering, trusting the current and placing yourself in the universe's hands. These 3 doors form the bridge between the human ego and the divine. And with every door you pass through, you become lighter and freer. Giving is not losing. It's joining the flow. Lao Tzu said, the sea is the king of rivers because it lies below them. To be low is to receive. Giving aligns your energy downward, into the current. Modern people even calculate while giving, I gave, so now I deserve to receive. But the universe doesn't understand that language. It moves in circles, not transactions. When you give, the energy returns to you, maybe as a smile, a chance, or an unexpected piece. The law of reverse flow says, if you wish to receive, begin by giving, because energy multiplies only in open exchange, never in closed holding. A young man once asked his master, Master, why can't I get what I want, no matter how hard I try? The master clenched one hand into a fist and opened the other. Tell me, he said, which one can hold water? The student fell silent. The master smiled. You live like this, with a closed fist and a calculating heart. Water is never owned. It belongs to the flow. And that day, the student finally understood to receive, you must first release. Modern neuroscience has found the physical reflection of giving. When you share a smile, time, or kindness, your brain releases oxytocin and serotonin, the chemicals of connection and contentment. So giving is not just a moral virtue, it's a biological completion mechanism. That's why the universal law says, what you give is what you grow. Give fear, and fear expands. Give love, and love multiplies. Letting go is not losing. It's releasing what no longer serves you. Sometimes you let go, not because you stopped caring, but because holding on keeps you from rising. A thought, a belief, a person. Thoth said, the one who releases the burden begins to rise. But modern minds glorify holding on. They see control as strength. Yet true strength belongs to the one who can release. A river does not stop when it meets a rock. It bends, curves, and keeps flowing. The rock stays rigid, and in time, it dissolves. Humans are the same. When you resist, you become stone hard, fixed, tired. When you release, you become water soft, flowing, unstoppable. Water's power is born from surrender, not struggle. That's why Tao says, be like water. It seeks the lowest ground, yet overcomes all. Maybe right now you don't want to let go, because without what you're holding, you're not sure who you'd be. But remember, letting go isn't emptiness. It's returning to your origin. When a leaf falls from the tree, it joins the soil. That soil feeds a new seed. Nothing ever disappears, it transforms. What you lose continues elsewhere, and when you release it, you make space for its new form. Neurologically, letting go happens when the brain's prefrontal cortex relaxes control. Awareness switches off the reflex to manage. The default mode network, the mind's chatter, quiets down, and presence takes its place. Meditation, prayer, deep breathing all open this same neurophysiological door. Surrender. That's why some people cry when they pray, because for the first time, the brain drops its guard, and yes, in that moment, the body literally becomes lighter. Surrender is not passivity. It's conscious partnership with the universe. It doesn't mean I can't do it. It means I'm not doing it alone. From that silence, after letting go, trust is born. That trust is the seed of surrender. Lao Tzu said, "The one who releases walks in the hands of God." The surrendered one doesn't walk against the wind. They walk with it. They stop asking, how and when, because they know the path already knows their steps. Once there was a sea captain. In every storm, he gripped the wheel with bloody hands, fighting the waves to save his ship. One night, a storm stronger than any before struck. Exhausted, trembling, he finally let go. And at that moment, he saw the ship was already turning itself in the right direction. From that night on, he trusted the sea, because sometimes releasing control is what guides you home. Today, try 3 small acts. Give. Offer someone kindness. Expect nothing. Don't release. Hold back 1 complaint today. Surrender. At the end of the day, say these words, "The universe knows better than I." Then, take a deep breath. With every exhale, 1 door will close. With every act of giving, another will open. Pause. Listen to your heart. Which door are you standing at today? Maybe you're giving. Maybe you're releasing. Maybe you're simply surrendering. They all lead to the same path. And that path is called flow. Today, give something without waiting for return. And if these words resonated within you, write in the comments, "I am walking through the gate of the universe." At some point, everyone makes the same mistake. You believe you've awakened, but you've only traded your chains for finer ones. This part of the law of reverse flow reveals a deeper truth. Knowing universal law is not enough. You must see the traps you fall into while living it. And this is the universe's quietest, yet most powerful test. 3 traps wait for you along the path. Imitation, walking in someone else's light. Laziness, confusing, going with the flow, with giving up. Bargaining, trying to make deals with the universe. These are invisible webs that slow the spirit's evolution, but each can dissolve through awareness. Imitation is the most deceptive chain, because it makes you feel wise. You watch other travelers, repeat their words, speak in their tone but deep inside. A whisper asks, "Who am I?" True awakening isn't following another's path, it's walking your own. Thoth said, "The wise do not hide in another's shadow, for they carry their own light." Imitation is admiration wearing fear's disguise. You fear your own brilliance because light demands responsibility. Lao Tzu said, "The river's song never copies another's melody, yet all return to the same sea. So your melody must echo in your own frequency." A student followed his master for years. He copied his walk, his voice, even his words. One day the master said, "Tomorrow I will go to the temple. Do not follow me." The student didn't understand, but obeyed for a while. Moments later, he couldn't resist and followed. Each time he stepped in the master's footprints, dust rose. The path disappeared. The master turned and said, "When your shadow follows mine, the road vanishes." The student fell to his knees. He finally understood. To find himself, he must stop following. Modern neuroscience explains imitation too. The brain contains mirror neurons, cells that activate when you watch another's actions. They teach you by imitation, but they can also blur identity. Excessive focus on others dulls your boundaries. Social media turns being like someone else into a biological reflex, but a conscious mind reclaims those neurons. It no longer reflects, it creates. The second trap wears the mask of peace. It whispers, "Just let it flow." But secretly it means, do nothing. Avoid risk. Laziness is fear in stillness. You fear failing? Fear being seen, fear moving, so you call your fear flow. Lao Tzu said, "True surrender is quiet inside, but alive outside. Flow is not inaction. It is the right action at the right time." As the master once said, laziness is the soul's way of hiding through sleep. A man once sat by a river for years, watching the same view, saying, "I'll let the universe carry me." An old woman asked, "Why do you sit here?" "I'm going with the flow," he replied. She laughed softly. "If you wish to be in the flow, you must first step into the river." That day, he finally stood up, placed his feet in the water, and understood. To be in the flow is not to sit by its edge. Mental laziness comes from the brain's default mode network, the circuit for daydreaming and self-talk. When it overactivates, you think much, but act little. Meditation and mindful intention quiet that network. Then the prefrontal cortex, the focus center, awakens. In that moment, you sense the right action inside stillness. The Tao calls this Wu Wei, effortless action. Bargaining is the soul's silent fear. If I'm good, the universe will be good to me. If I meditate, peace will come. If I hold on, I won't lose. But the universe doesn't negotiate. It speaks the language of alignment, not condition. Thoth said, "If you act for reward, the result will enslave you." Bargaining pollutes intention, because expectation clouds purity. True surrender simply says, "Let it be," and if it's not, let it still be. A man once wandered the desert, thirsty. He prayed, "God, if you give me water, I'll serve you forever." He saw a mirage, ran, found nothing. Exhausted, he fell to the ground. This time he whispered, "Even if there's no water, it's enough that you are." At that moment clouds gathered and rain began to fall, because the universe hears surrender, not bargains. These three traps, imitation, laziness, bargaining, all grow from the same root. Fear. Fear of being yourself, fear of moving, fear of losing. But the universe opens only to courage, not fear. Your task isn't to suppress these fears, but to see them. Awareness is the first act of freedom. Pause. Ask yourself, which trap holds me today? Imitation, laziness, bargaining? Then smile. Because the moment you see the trap, you've already unlocked it. Today, hold a silent ritual with yourself. The imitation, when you admire someone online, stop, breathe, ask, "Who am I?" A laziness. When you choose not to act, ask, "Is this surrender or fear?" The bargaining. When your prayer or intention includes an "if," let it go. Then write this sentence, "I no longer move through fear. I move through awareness." Now close your eyes. In your mind, see not 3 doors but 3 mirrors. In each one you see a reflection. The imitator, the sleeper, the bargainer. Smile at them, because they are all you, and the moment you recognize them, you turn into light. Today, don't try to impress anyone. If these words resonated with you, write in the comments, "I am now my own reflection." You feel like life is always asking you to do something, don't you? Work, run, plan, achieve. But maybe what the universe asks of you isn't so complicated. Maybe it only wants one thing from you, to flow. The law of reverse flow says, when you force it, you lose. When you let go, you find. And the voice of Lao Tzu still echoes in the wind. The wise act without doing, teach without speaking, be without striving. This is not passivity. It's harmony with the rhythm of nature. The bamboo doesn't think about how to grow. The river doesn't calculate where it will end. The sun doesn't struggle to rise. So why do you keep pushing yourself every moment? Vo vi is not doing nothing. It's doing the natural thing at the right time. The roots of a tree listen to the soil. Its leaves feel the wind. Nothing more, nothing less. No tree ever says, "I failed to bloom," because nature never rushes itself. Vo vi is the language of the universe. When you stop speaking that language, noise begins. The mind says, "You must do something." The soul whispers, "You already are." Your task is to find silence between the two. A master once took his student to the river. "Watch," he said. "The river will teach you vo vi." The student stared at the water rushing by. "How strong it is," he said. The master smiled, "Not because it's strong, but because it doesn't resist. The student threw a stone into the water. The stone sank. The master said, "The stone desired to stay still. The water has no desire, and that's why it reaches everywhere." In that moment, the student understood. True strength is the calm inside natural movement. Modern psychology calls this flow state. A moment when the brain loses track of time, self-consciousness fades, complex actions become effortless. During flow, parts of the prefrontal cortex temporarily deactivate. The chatter of control goes silent. That silence is the biological mirror of effortless action. That is Vo-Vi. When the mental brakes are released, the universe takes the wheel. Imagine a still lake, its surface calm, its depths vast. That's where power lives, in quiet. Humans are the same. True strength isn't born in noise. It's born in stillness. Effort often comes from mistrust, but trust means believing in your own flow. Thoth wrote, "In the heart of motion lies stillness. In the heart of stillness lies motion." That's why the wise seem calm outwardly, yet are vibrant within. Their stillness is not idleness, it is readiness. Their action is born from perfect timing. Now think, how many things in your life are you forcing? How many decisions come not from intuition but from fear? Stop, take a breath. Remember, no flower forgets to bloom, no sun forgets to rise. Everything happens exactly when it's meant to. You are part of that design. The universe asks not for performance but for alignment. So stop forcing, open, unfold in your own time. In the flow state, your brain shifts into alpha waves, awake but calm. Creativity rises, stress fades, dopamine and endorphins balance. Effortlessness is not laziness, it's biological harmony. Athletes, musicians, artists, their best moments come when they forget themselves. There is no I, only being. That is the secret of Vo-Vi. To forget the self is to remember the whole. A leaf does not fight the wind, it dances with it. Because the leaf is not the wind's enemy, it is its partner. Be like that leaf. Don't fight circumstances, dance with them. Not in your rhythm, but in what is. Then your movements become poetry. Every step becomes a prayer. And in that moment, your action becomes effortless. Today, for just 10 minutes, make no plans. Move intuitively. Go where you feel drawn. Eat what you crave. Speak to whoever your heart chooses. But between each action, pause. That pause is where the flow directs you. At the end of the day, write one sentence. Today, I forced nothing, and everything happened. You'll notice the peace that comes, the quiet reward of effortlessness. A pianist once stepped on stage. He placed his hands on the keys, but didn't look at the notes. The audience waited in silence. Then the music began to play itself. Afterwards, someone asked, "How did you play so perfectly?" The pianist smiled. "I didn't play. The music was already there. I just didn't get in its way." That is Vo-Vi. When you step aside, God plays through you. Stop. Do nothing for a moment. Just be. Because the universe responds not to your effort, but to your intent lies. Stillness is the hand of God. Today, don't try to hurry anything. And if these words resonated within you, write in the comments, "I am in the flow." You think you haven't changed, but you have every moment without noticing. Because some transformations don't bloom, they shed. Life has its own seasons. And sometimes you are in winter, but you mistake winter for failure. Yet winter is not punishment. It's the silent laboratory of renewal. Every cycle of the universe whispers this. Nothing blooms forever, but no winter lasts forever either. Your task is not to fight the season, but to move in harmony with it. In nature, nothing grows endlessly. The tree sheds its leaves. The soil rests. The sky grows heavy with clouds. But modern humans want eternal spring, constant energy, constant motivation, constant light. The soul, however, moves like nature. It has its own spring, rebirth, summer, action, autumn, release, and winter, return within. This rhythm is the heartbeat of your life. Lao Tzu said, "Every fullness empties, every emptiness fills." Winter is emptiness, but emptiness preparing for fullness. A gardener planted seeds in the soil. Rain came, turning the earth to mud. The gardener sighed. "It's all ruined," he said. But inside that mud the seed cracked open. Darkness and damp were its womb. Your inner darkness is the same. Hard times don't destroy you. They break your shell. Because the universe always births light from the dark. Thoth wrote, "What decays changes form. What changes form becomes immortal." In other words, darkness is the womb of transformation. Even your body moves like nature. Your circadian rhythms restore you during sleep, balancing hormones, energy, emotion. Within you also flow ultradian cycles. Every 90 minutes, your energy dips and renews. But you call these dips unproductive. Yet they're your inner winters. And without winter, there is no spring. Even biology obeys the law of reverse flow. There is no progress without retreat. A cat waited every morning by the door. When the sun came out, it ran outside. When rain began, it rushed back in. One year, the rain lasted for weeks. The cat meowed, clawed at the door. Finally, when it went out, it shivered and hurried back. Its owner smiled. The time to go outside comes with the sky. Humans are the same. When you force your spring, you freeze. A flower that blooms too soon wilts in the cold. Think about it. Maybe you're in winter right now, a quiet, still, lonely season. But that emptiness may be your sacred ground of renewal. Maybe the universe slows you down to protect you. Maybe it delays you to deepen your roots. Remember, winter is God whispering, prepare. And spring always rises from silent soil. Psychology says emotions, too, are seasonal. Sadness is inward turning. Anger is transformation. Joy is expansion. But none last forever. Each comes to teach, then passes. Even depression, from the Latin depressio, meaning to press inward, is not destruction, but descent. The soul withdrawing into its winter. Don't fear the dark. There you rest. There you unravel. To be reborn. One winter night, a candle burned. Wind blew. The flame trembled. A child placed a glass dome over it to protect it. After a while, the flame suffocated and went out. Sometimes, in trying to protect yourself, you extinguish your own light. Because winter doesn't come to harm you. It comes to teach you. Don't fight the wind. Dance with it. Winter's purpose is to strip away excess. Just as trees release their leaves, you are meant to release your overthinking, your tired plans, your heavy expectations. Empty yourself, so spring can find space to grow. Today, ask yourself quietly, what season am I in right now? Don't judge the answer. Maybe it's spring, maybe it's winter. Every season serves its purpose. And if it's spring, begin. If it's summer, share. Not if it's autumn, release. And if it's winter, rest. Then write this sentence. Whatever my season, I am one with it. A woman tended flowers every year, but one year her garden didn't bloom. She was so sad she stopped watering. Then one morning, small green sprouts appeared through the soil. Her neighbor asked, "What did you do to make them grow again?" The woman smiled. "Nothing. I just let them rest." Pause. Breathe. Whatever season lives outside lives within you too, and that's natural. The universe moves forward by turning, and you turn with it. Allow your winter. Because spring is already being written in silence. Today, notice your inner season without judgment. And if these words resonated within you, write in the comments, "I am in my own season." You may have been asking for years, why is the universe doing this to me? But maybe the universe isn't doing anything to you. Maybe it's simply showing you yourself. If you keep meeting the same people, the same events, the same emotions, that is no coincidence. That is the mirror of the universe. Thoth said, the universe bends like a mirror. It reflects what is within you and shows nothing that is not. So the darkness you see out there is the echo of your inner shadow, and the light you see is the reminder of your essence. When you stop fighting the universe, you realize the battle was never outside. Taoism teaches, the outer world reflects the inner. Change the inside, and the outside will follow. But the modern mind reverses this. It keeps trying to fix the outside. People, situations, luck, time, and ends up creating more chaos. Because even a broken mirror still reflects you. There's no escape. Everything you see out there is you. A student complained to his master every day, "People don't understand me." One morning, the master gave him a mirror. Each day, he said, look into this and ask only one question. Whom am I not understanding? A week later, the student returned in tears. "Master, I have never really listened to anyone." The master smiled. The universe doesn't speak to you. It echoes you. Psychology calls this the projection mechanism. The mind projects inner feelings onto the outer world. When you judge someone, you're rejecting that same part within yourself. When you admire someone, you're seeing your own potential reflected. Everyone you meet represents an unacknowledged fragment of you. That's why relationships are the most sacred laboratory of the soul. The universe uses human faces to tell you about you. Picture a lake, clear and still. When waves form, you can't see your reflection. Your mind works the same way. If it's agitated, your inner image blurs. So Lao Tzu said, "When the wise still the waters of thought, they see their own sky." But you keep throwing stones into your lake, every "why me?" a ripple distorting your reflection. Stop for a moment. Truly stop. Ask yourself, what exists outside of me? The answer is simple yet unsettling. Nothing. Everything passes through your perception. You are not watching the world. You are watching your version of it. This realization is freedom, because you can no longer blame, and when blame dissolves, energy returns home. You are no longer a victim. You become the creator. Neuroscience agrees. The brain doesn't perceive reality directly. Your eyes, ears, and skin only collect signals. The brain interprets them through memories and beliefs. So you don't see the world. You see your interpretation of it. That's why two people experience the same event differently. Each is looking into their own mirror. Reality isn't fixed. It's painted anew each moment by your inner brush. A painter sketched the same landscape every morning, yet each day the picture looked different. A friend asked, "The scene never changes. Why do your paintings?" The painter smiled, "Because I change." You too wake up to the same world, but its colors shift with the weather of your soul. The hardest part of the mirror law is facing your shadow. The traits you deny in yourself return through others to get your attention. The person who angers you mirrors your repressed fire. The one who triggers your jealousy reflects your forgotten desires. The one who frightens you embodies your unused power. Your shadow isn't your enemy, it's your guide. Thoth said, "Do not reject the darkness. Illuminate it. For light is complete only when joined with shadow." So today, if someone or something triggers you, don't react. Open a notebook and write, "What is this showing me about myself?" Then breathe deeply and read this line aloud. "The universe is not my teacher, it is my reflection." At day's end, look into a mirror and say, "I am coming back to you." Because every return begins with reflection. For one day, try seeing from within instead of without. When you say, "They don't love me," ask, "Do I love myself?" When you say, "They don't understand me," ask, "Do I understand myself?" And listen, not with your mind but with your heart, because the answers were never out there. You are both the center and the mirror of the universe. Pause. Breathe. Look inward. Without judgment. Just see. Even your darkness is sacred. It is light turned backward. And the universe loves the whole, not just the bright. Today, stop blaming the outside. Find every echo within. And if these words resonated with you, write in the comments, "I am my own mirror." ChatGPT Hatayapa. For thousands of years, spiritual teachers have spoken of balance, flow, and letting go. And in the last century, science began saying the same thing, just in a different language. Homeostasis, neural balance, neuroplasticity, spirit and science have finally met, because both describe the same universal law. The universe constantly restores balance. The more you resist that balance, the more you suffer. The more you align with it, the more you find peace. And this law isn't a mystical idea. It's written into every cell of your body. Homeostasis means a return to balance. It's the silent orchestra that continuously fine-tunes your heartbeat, temperature, hormones, and blood pressure. But when you live in stress, fear, or suppressed emotion, you try to snatch the baton from the conductor's hand, and the music falls apart. Your body sends messages: a racing heart, a tight stomach, tense muscles. They're not errors, they're calls to return. Slow down. Come back to balance, your body says. The universe's homeostasis works the same way. A star that overheats explodes, then is reborn. A wave that rises too high breaks, then settles. All of nature moves in opposite directions to stay whole. The law of reverse flow is the essence of biology. Picture a scale. When one side drops, the other rises. If you try to freeze it in place, it strains. But if you let go, it finds equilibrium. Your nervous system is the same. On one end, the sympathetic, fight, flight, strive. On the other, the parasympathetic, rest, digest, heal. You need both. One cannot function without the other. But modern life locks you in the on position, and the result is burnout, insomnia, anxiety. All your body truly wants is permission to return to balance. Deep in your brain sits an ancient guardian, the hypothalamus. It regulates heartbeat, breath, temperature, hormones, and it responds directly to your emotional state. Stress is not just mental, it's physiological overflow. That's why meditation, mindful breathing, walking in nature, or simply sitting in silence all activate the vagus nerve, awakening the parasympathetic system and restoring peace. What you call spiritual practice is simply your biology rebooting itself. A woman suffered from insomnia for years. Medicine, coffee, music, nothing helped. One day a sage asked, "Do you trust your body?" She frowned. "What do you mean?" He said, "You trust your mind, but you never ask your heart." That night she did nothing. She just breathed deeply and listened to her heartbeat. For the first time in years, she slept in peace. Because the body is not your enemy. It is your quietest teacher. If you want to understand the flow of the cosmos, start with the universe within. The macrocosm and the microcosm breathe by the same law. A star's explosion prepares its rebirth. A muscle's contraction prepares its release. A heart's tension prepares its expansion. As Lao Tzu said, the great Tao echoes in the smallest vein. Your nervous system is the universe's miniature model, and with every breath, the balance of creation is restored inside you. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, means that nothing you call me is permanent. Your thoughts, habits, and beliefs can be reshaped through repetition and awareness. Each moment of mindfulness is one neuron reaching toward another, building a new bridge of consciousness. Transformation isn't just spiritual, it's biological. Thoth wrote, "Consciousness shapes form. Form carries consciousness. Your thoughts sculpt your brain. Your brain then reshapes your thoughts. That cycle mirrors the act of universal creation." Think of your brain as a garden. Every thought is a seed. Negative thoughts, weeds. Awareness, not flowers. What you water grows. But if you never let the soil rest, nothing can bloom. Neuroplasticity is simply the art of watering with awareness. Science says your nervous system needs multiple resets each day. Sleep, stretching, deep breathing, closing your eyes. All are ways it recalibrates itself. But the modern mind rarely allows it. Yet the moment you pause, your brain receives the message, "I am safe." Only then can learning, healing, and creativity begin. So, doing nothing is the most productive thing you can do. An engineer was overwhelmed by deadlines. One day his computer crashed. Frustrated, he stormed outside for a walk. An hour later, the solution appeared in his mind. He realized, stopping is another form of progress. Today, take 5 minutes. Sit somewhere quiet. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Breathe in through your nose and exhale slowly with a long ha sound. Do this 10 times. Then simply listen to your body, your heart, your breath. It will whisper, "I am already in balance." In that moment, body and soul reunite. Stop. Close your eyes. Feel how your body serves you. Every cell is seeking harmony to keep you alive. The universe's homeostasis beats in rhythm with you. And at last you understand. Your body is God's quietest temple. Today, just listen to your body. Don't try to fix it. And if these words resonated with you, write in the comments, "I am returning to balance." Now you understand. The universe moves forward by pulling back. And in every fall, you were never falling. You were returning. This book didn't bring you new knowledge. It brought you an old remembering. Now theory will give way to experience. Because wisdom isn't knowing, it's living. These next 7 days are not a ritual. They are the gentle art of realignment. The moment your heartbeat begins to match the heartbeat of the cosmos. Day 1, awareness today. Don't try to change anything. Just stop. Sit. Stay silent. Put your phone away. Listen to the sound of now. Mini practice. For 5 minutes, don't count your breaths. Feel them. When thoughts arise, whisper, "This too shall pass." Today I did nothing, yet I heard everything. Day 2, release today, let go. Physically, emotionally, mentally. Empty a drawer. Write down one feeling. Notice one burden without trying to fix it. Mini practice. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6. Each time you exhale, say softly, "As I empty, I grow lighter." Today I held on to nothing. I simply released. Day 3. Rooting today. Stop fighting your past. Thank it. It brought you here. Mini practice. Write on paper 3 pains that made me stronger. With each one, take a deep breath and say, "This too is my root." Today, I thanked my past. Day 4, the harmony of opposites. Today, reject no emotion. Welcome joy, anger, fatigue, all of them. They are the many faces of life. Mini practice. As you inhale, say, "Accept." As you exhale, say, "Release." After 10 breaths, notice. Everything passes, but you remain. Today I accepted every season within me. Day 5, effortlessness today, live without a plan. Surrender control, even in small choices. Let intuition take the lead. Mini practice. Go for a walk without a destination. With every step, whisper, I am flowing. Today I didn't choose my direction. It found me. Day 6, seeing yourself. Today, blame no one. Whatever happens, ask, what is this showing me about myself? Mini practice. Look into your own eyes in the mirror for 3 minutes. Repeat gently, I see you. I forgive you. Today I looked inward, not outward. Day 7, rebirth today is not an ending, it's a beginning. You've learned to walk the reverse path. Surrender in struggle. Action in stillness. Light in darkness. Mini practice. Open a journal. At the top, write, my journey begins with return. Then, beneath it, write one word from your heart. Maybe trust, silence, renewal, or home. That word becomes your new compass. Now you know. The universe advances by retreating, and you move with it, because the direction of return is the direction of truth. Today I stop trying to fix the outside. I breathe, because the universe within me breathes. I release, because God works through release. I surrender, because surrender is the beginning of invisible motion. And now, this is not the end of the path. It is the 0 point. If these words resonated with you, write just one word in the comments. Return.